Hello. Welcome to the Make It While You Fake It podcast. A podcast about running a custom furniture and woodworking business while also trying to start a community makerspace outside of Philly. All without having any formal education in woodworking or in business. I'm Dan Skirma from Woe Shop Woodworking and Monco Makers, and I'm glad that you're here with us. So your reason for not wearing pants is just because you haven't been home?
Yeah, I didn't bring pants with me when I left for work this morning.
But you're wearing boxers.
You are so far away from the mic, it's ridiculous. You are literally 5 feet from it, leaning back.
These are gym shorts.
Okay, keep on telling yourself that.
These are the shorts that I wear to the gym. They have pockets.
They make boxers with pockets.
They do not make boxers with pockets, Michael.
Those are called shorts.
Yeah.
Regular shorts.
Those are shorts, my guy. What are you doing?
Hold on.
There are no such things as boxers with pockets.
Stop. Get off your phone. You don't know. You can't see anything anyway. I see you looking. You have that bifocal look, but ridiculous.
Jeans has them.
Jesus.
Okay, just because
Amazon.
the little pouch where your nuts go is not a pocket.
No.
That does not make a pocket. Jambies?
Jambies.
Sounds like you're very familiar with that brand.
What did you just call me? Boxers with pockets.
So last summer I got into the shorts with the built-in like ball sack pocket.
How is that?
Super comfy.
Really?
Really comfy. It's essentially like wearing a bathing suit around. Not bad. I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad. They're not cheap, but not bad. Well, welcome everyone.
Well, I'll be damned.
You guys gonna join, or are you still looking at boxers?
Boxers, but no, with pockets.
On your phone there.
With pockets.
With pockets.
They've got a little pocket.
Yeah.
But it's not like a side pocket. It's a pouch on the outside.
The outside?
Yeah. Like normally the pouch would go on the inside and like your nuts go in there, but
are they showing you ball? Are you showing like ball cleavage? Is that now a thing?
No. You can. It's like
I don't want to live in that world, Mike.
I think this is for like when you're traveling, I guess.
So you want to air them out on the plane?
No. It's like a safety pocket. It's got a zipper and everything for like your passport and credit card.
Oh, you're not kidding.
I'm not joking.
It's
dude.
literally a pocket on top.
That is a marketed product for travelers.
I guess if you're gonna get pickpocketed,
might as well
if someone's putting their hand there,
get a little rub down.
You're at least gonna notice.
Yeah.
Your back pocket can be loosey goosey, so it's easy to pickpocket. In the front there, that'd be pretty ballsy. Also, how would they know? I'm just gonna guess that this guy has a credit card down there.
Ballsy.
I got it. Welcome. We're here.
Welcome to the podcast. Let's go.
Episode 11. 11. We've been doing this 11 weeks. That's ridiculous.
Barely feels like 12. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only done 9.
We started when it was cold, and now it's really goddamn hot in our greenhouse windowed shop, even when there's no sun.
Oh yeah.
Really uncomfortable. It's time for a wood drying season inside our active kiln of a shop. But yeah, so I'm proud of you because you removed your old bench, which I'm sure was
progress is progress.
A little bit of a task.
That's because he got money.
Did you just roll it out? Or did you get the forklift?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So rolled it out.
The only reason they left the shop is he got money for it.
No. Nope.
No? Really?
No. Yeah, I'm just gonna chop it up and throw it in the dumpster.
You just like make it appear in the middle of the factory and be like, I don't know how that got there.
Sitting out back there where the pile of tires used to be.
Nice.
Oh, so it really isn't gone.
Well, it's on the premises, but it's not.
It's out of the shop. It no longer exists.
That's true.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
Thank you from the ADHD Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly. Out of sight, out of mind. Half of the shop, we don't know what's here.
Which was, I've seen actually a pretty cool thing about organizing your fridge for ADHD.
Just have nothing in it?
You put the condiments in the drawers and all the important stuff in the door, because if you want condiments, you're going to dig for them. But
Okay.
the other stuff,
Interesting.
your milk doesn't go bad and all that because it's in view.
Yeah, I have to say there are some yogurts and stuff that have been pushed back that I don't know when they're from.
They're no longer yogurts, they're cheese.
Like I will say to my wife, like, oh yeah, those are 3 weeks old. She's like, they expired in August and crap like that. There's occasional stuff that
Wait a minute.
back there
They expired in August.
of last year.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I've had stuff go bad long time.
You guys don't clean your fridge every week?
No.
Really?
Is that when you're hyper focusing? Is that your hyper focus cycle of the ADHD?
No, that's just a thing that I've always done.
Are you serious? No.
Yeah.
Ever? No, never, ever.
Yeah, no, our fridge is like borderline sterile.
Oh yeah, no. Ours has all the leftovers from grapes and leaves from strawberries and everything in that drawer, and they just pile up for a while until it gets gross enough where it.
You know what? He doesn't have kids.
I mean, the kids thing. There's a lot of crap in there, half of which I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
I just buy it.
the kids will be eating, like, good example, bananas. You buy 5 bananas. In 2 days, they eat them all. You go back and you buy a dozen bananas, and they don't eat a single one.
See, he knows. Yeah, that's absolutely true. They only want what you don't have right now.
Well, sure, yeah.
And that's what it. But they do it. They have a spidey sense. They just know what you don't have. Real pain in the ass. But yeah. Anyway,
You should really try cleaning your fridge every week.
No,
it's nice.
Yeah, you talk like I have time.
I'll invite you over, and you can clean the fridge.
I don't have time for anything.
Seems like you enjoy it.
It's just, I mean, it's like brushing your teeth. It's not something you enjoy. It's just something you do.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. See, when I clean the fridge, I get OCD when I do clean the fridge.
Oh, it's great.
But I can't do that. I can't unload my entire fridge and then clean everything and put it all back in.
That's literally the best way to do it.
I know.
You take everything out.
I don't have time for that.
Take everything out,
Also,
wipe it down.
And then come in and they see all the stuff and then they just,
Oh, no, cleaning a fridge is like half a day affair.
it's horrible.
Oh my God, Jesus, you guys just have too much in your fridge.
Well, we store things in our fridge because I have
Like what?
I have 5 humans to feed.
2 different types of grapes.
3 of those
Different
humans
types
eat
of
triple what I do.
apples, Strawberries. Cheese. The kids have their own, like, half the stuff in my fridge is all kids stuff.
90% of my grocery bill is kid stuff.
Yeah. This is the greatest commercial for birth control ever.
Uh-huh.
Jesus.
Yes.
My kids are $1,000 a month in food.
Easy.
Easy.
I think you're underestimating that one by a lot.
1,000 for me. My wife has probably another 800 into it every month.
For food.
Yes.
Just for food. Yeah. Yeah, no, dude. Have you seen my son? He is a freaking tank of an eater. And I don't know where it goes.
I don't know that I've ever seen Quattro eat. Gotta be honest.
I'm surprised you haven't. I'm surprised you have never seen him eat because he's eating nonstop.
Yeah. Besides, like, the 1 or 2 birthday parties that I've been to.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried deworming them?
Oh, maybe that's a good idea.
I got deworming meds at home. I just gave them to Ronnie.
Of course you did. Lord. Gross.
I mean, look, you have a small child, I have a kitten. Same thing.
It's really the
Wait a
same
minute,
thing.
you have a kitten now?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Kittens die and new ones show up.
No, the ones that die are old.
Do you just name them the same name so it's kind of a running thing?
No, so our all of our cats are currently named after rock stars. We had Freddie,
yeah,
and he passed, and then we still have Ozzy, and now we have Ronnie.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
You're gonna have to get a Lars.
Well, no.
No.
It's not. No, I'm not on board with Lars.
Yeah, no.
You do Mitch though. It'd be fun.
Mitch.
Good one.
Gilmore?
I don't hate Mitch.
That's not. Yeah. See, that's
Nice, quick single syllable.
We've always wanted to name our pets just our friends' names, like full names.
That's some psychopath shit.
Like I was gonna have like
That's
the
weird
goldfish. It's gonna be like, oh, that's my goldfish, Vinny Vecchio.
That's I don't know, man. There's some weird like sociopathic undertones there.
Exactly.
There's some like undiscussed control issues with that.
And then he invites the person over. He goes, "Do you want something to eat?"
Yeah.
And then he goes over and feeds goldfish.
Yeah.
And you want some flakes?
Exactly. Tasty. But yeah, no, I definitely do not clean my fridge out every week. But that was already a million tangents. Very impressive. All
Highly
from,
recommend
hey,
it.
you moved your bench out. Freaking, we're in trouble if we have a topic.
Stick 3 ADHD
Oh my
people
God.
in the room, and
So you're doing bench stuff, and your bench is done. Your old bench is out.
Yep.
I'm
Almost done kind of organizing it, the first revision.
Yes. Yeah,
So-
you have some stuff in the drawers.
Yeah, draft one, the drawers are getting organized.
Yep.
I've got the chisels in, I've got the saws in,
Mm-hmm.
I've got all the things that spin to cut. That's in one drawer. Yeah, we're
do we
getting
get a
there.
label maker so we can actually label the drawers too.
I have a label maker.
No,
I
don't
have
need
a label maker in here, and it's never been used.
you don't need to label drawers.
Oh, we need to label
Oh,
the
boy,
drawers.
We'll
Nah.
label drawers in the makerspace. I'll let you do that. But yeah, no, I finished a pantry over the weekend, which was fun.
That looked good.
It did look good. It was interesting because when I first got there, I could stand on the floor and my right leg was like an inch lower than my left leg because it was so out of like the concrete slab was just whacked.
Oh wow.
Why didn't you just take some of the light levelers?
No, this was beyond that. He wanted to put like an actual floor down. So
What do you do? Do a
self-leveling?
self-leveling?
Yeah, you self-level concrete. Took like 14 bags, something like that of that. And then did the floor in like this. At first, he did this like cheap tile, and he knew it was cheap going in. It was just delaminated from the floor within the first 2 days.
Ugh,
He knew it was junk. He just liked the look of it. It was like those big black and white tiles, but they were like stick on, and they just didn't.
Dude,
It didn't work. So he got new tile. He got that figured out. That's why those cabinets were here for so
if
long.
you ever pour that self-leveling, you got to wait like a minimum of 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, no, it was not that long. But either way, but it was the 2 cabinets, the countertop, and then 6 shelves, which I was very happy they were not floating because I despise doing that. But I have to do that next week. That's a different topic. But yeah, so 6 shelves, and it was good because I actually got shelves on different walls to line up perfectly.
Look at you,
Dude,
learning how to use a level on a tape measure.
get this.
Wait.
I hit a stud every time.
First try.
First try every time.
Wow.
Wow.
Did you hit a sheetrock screw?
I did not. Now, I did discover that the
Every
sheetrockers did a shitty job. Oh,
Every single kitchen I put in
yep.
putting one of the
Inevitably. Yep.
baths, inevitably I hit a sheetrock screw.
And then you're always bewildered. Like, why isn't it going?
Come on. If I'm putting in
It's so annoying.
30 screws, I really should not be hitting a sheetrock screw.
If they're every foot or whatever the hell you're supposed to do. Is it every foot maybe? Four for like a 4x8 sheet, 4 up, maybe a little bit more
I
than
think it's
that.
every 6 inches
Yeah.
up. But it's every 6 inches up.
Yeah.
And then,
Odds are you shouldn't hit one, and you always do.
right.
So one thing that we noticed, so the homeowner knew that they didn't do a great drywall job. Like he could see that they were like caking on mud,
Oof.
which is already a bad sign. So I'm in a stud. I knew I was in a stud. I got meat immediately. I'm drilling in, and then I start hearing that crackle. I'm like, why is it doing that? Because I'm pretty sure there was a screw head from the previous drywall that they drywalled over and didn't see. There was a little bit of a raised area that wasn't touching the stud that when I went into it, it pushed it down into,
Well,
pushed it
that-
tight. And there was like it looked like someone hit the drywall with a hammer from the other side, like that pop out. He's like, what's that? I'm like, that is a bad drywall job. He goes, damn it.
Yeah.
I was like, there's nothing I can do about that, dude. You have to talk to somebody else about that. But he's going to have stuff on the shelves. You're never going to see it. So it doesn't even matter.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So no, that turned out good. And then I'm drilling more yurt holes after the jig got screwed up and I ruined 3 of the rings. Big bummer.
Major bummer.
So that entire job is going to be more or less for free, which sucks. It's not a lot. Honestly, it's actually a couple hours of work, 2 hours of work when I actually sit down and do it. But whatever, it is what it is.
That's the hardest part, is just sitting down and doing it.
I know. They've been here for 4 months and I just haven't done them. And now I did them, and I don't know how the hell the stop got moved or got bumped or whatever. I probably just hit it too hard or something, but it got moved. And then Mike, you're doing a ridiculously large coffee table that is too large and it's probably not going to be accepted.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So what they want is they have a little alcove that has a 16 3/4 inch high set of cabinets in the alcove. They wanted a coffee table that would be put on the outside section that they could put a mattress down on top of both things and have a guest room. Then when nobody's there, they pull the mattress out and they put the coffee table in. But the coffee table is 64 inches by 47 inches.
Jeez.
It's a big old coffee table.
Bigger than your workbench surface.
Yeah, it's the size of your workbench.
Yeah, roughly.
That's
about my workbench size.
Yeah, that's an enormous coffee table.
But just because I know it's going to get rejected, even though I have I have correspondence with, this is what we want.
Yeah.
When time comes, I know it's going to be cut in half, so they get 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I will cut it down and do 2. I've already planned.
Yeah.
In my designing, I've planned it so that I can do that without fasteners or anything showing up and cutting into biscuits and all that, and dowels and tenons and all that other stuff. So I plan on doing it. Yep. And then I know I'm taking it back and redoing it.
That was a topic for last week that we didn't get to. So it's kind of a nice little segue anyway. Pretty much callbacks. Because I haven't had many. I haven't had the worst nightmare one where you deliver it and like 2 weeks later it either totally fails and they just want their money back or like something like that. I haven't had that, thank God.
I've only had one of those.
I have right now. I got a call back from a client from 2 years ago because I made a dining table and a bench, and the bench is starting to rack a little bit. So he's like, I just need the bench tightened. Pretty sure that was with dominoes and glued. So I don't know why it started racking 2 years later, unless everything shrunk or moved. But I mean,
the bench top is what's moving.
You think?
Yeah, your bench top is probably twisting, and everything else that's anchored to that
is also twisting.
Is twisting because the bench top is a much stronger force.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because that was a long bench. That was like 6 foot long or something, right?
It was the full width of the table.
Yeah. So that was a 6 foot long board and a 6 foot long stretcher on the bottom.
Yes, and only the 2 legs.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that's 100% what's happening. Your bench.
I'd have to look at it to even think about how to fix.
Was that the Sapili one that you did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, he's just like, hey, let me know when you can come tighten it. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go there and tighten it. I think I have to take it back here.
I'd bring it back here and we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Cut some of this, but I've had that, and then I've gotten lucky. So here's the thing: I've always been on the fence with showing clients progress pictures, because sometimes it's a double-edged sword. Either they get really excited or they're like,
they get really
that's
quiet.
mine. Like, what do you mean that's mine? That's what you asked for. And then they don't like it. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, that's 100%. The bench top is twisting probably.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well, you might be able to split the top, flip it.
Sure.
And then re-glue it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we'll figure something out. I'm sure it's not too bad though.
I normally don't get callbacks.
Yeah.
The one was a failure in 2 weeks. And when Mohawk bought out Star years ago, they took their product line and merged them.
Oh, yeah.
And the comment was, they are compatible.
You sure they are?
Yeah, that was about it. So we did, it was a polished filled walnut built-in.
Mm-hmm.
We did like 20 layers of lacquer on this thing.
Oh, jeez.
What happened was the filler for the walnut went on great, looked perfect. 2 weeks after we installed it, every single pore turned white.
What?
It was polka dotted.
Like a chemical reaction?
There was a chemical reaction between
What?
the filler and the lacquer that we used. The lacquer was Mohawks and the filler was Stars. Now, this probably ran about, I'm trying to remember, I think it was like close to 30 grand for the built-in.
Yeah.
We ate it because, yeah, it was, I will take it out. I will strip it. I will, find another product.
Yeah.
And she basically said no.
Yeah, that's the nightmare one.
The oldest callback was this summer. I did a kitchen 20 some years ago.
Oh yeah, you told me about
It was in a hurricane. So full force.
I never thought you'd have to put a 15-year warranty on your work.
A 20 some year warranty. It was and it actually held up well because I used an automotive urethane. It was a high build polish.
I don't know how you remember, to be honest. It's like, that's a long time to remember what goddamn finish you used on a specific project.
I can tell you every finish I've ever used.
Pretty much,
if you show me the project, I can tell you everything that goes into it.
I've never thought
I even remember
probably. I haven't made as much stuff as you guys. I probably could.
I bet you could. You'd be surprised.
Probably could. Because that's the thing. I've still been trying to find like my go-to, so I've been jumping around and trying stuff. But
we tried to tell you, you're just not listening.
You and your
Water locks.
Yeah, you and your water locks. Your 28 coats of water locks.
Does it look good? Is it easy to
good.
fix?
I don't know yet.
Yes. Scuff and wipe on more.
There you go.
But yeah, the kitchen has already gone through a hurricane where all the doors blew in. It was full on rained on for like 12 hours straight.
As hurricanes do.
They do that.
They do that.
The callback.
Why would you not get a new kitchen if
there's nothing wrong with the kitchen afterwards?
If your roof was off and it was rained on for 12 hours? What?
I coated everything.
Jeez. I would think just the drywall behind it. Like everything would just be moldy at that point. Oh, wow. All right.
This was the kitchen that was 18 feet tall.
Nice.
So, but the only thing that was wrong with it was the hinges. The guy had messed with the hinges, popped them out of that little grub screw that has a notch cut into it.
Yep.
For going, pulling the hinge in and out.
Yeah.
And that had popped out and he didn't know how to put it in. But I just thought it was funny.
It's like that's the thing that broke?
20 some years.
Yeah.
And that's the callback.
Yeah. Not a bad one. It's definitely not a bad one.
No, I should have taken a picture. It still looks good.
But like that's the thing. Like I screwed up these yurt rings before I gave them to the client, so now I could just be up front and there's no callback. So I kind of avoided that one. And then
there you go.
This epoxy table on that base, I sent a progress picture, and I'm always on the fence on whether to do that. But I think in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't like how light the base is. And I sent it, and she's like, could I make the base a little bit darker to kind of match? I'm like, okay, at least you said it, because
I'd actually like
that was in my mind.
Markedly darker.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see.
I think a dark, like walnut stain on that would look good with that table.
Yeah, I mean, because walnut stain is not going to make it look walnut. It'll just make it look like walnut stain. That's not bad. Yeah, it'll pick up the dark parts of that.
Picks it up. It basically will mirror the dark parts of the maple that you have there.
I worry about going too dark because then she's like, make it a little lighter. Then I'm mad.
You can't go on. You can't undo it.
No, exactly.
But I mean, that stuff is pretty bland wood. It's
Paro wood. It's like
it's
in the end or whatever.
It's not the best stuff in the world, but if you stain that dark, just like all the other Chinese furniture that we get over in the US, it's all done dark to hide that fact that it's crap.
Well, that's the thing. So we put a little bit of the clear shellac just on like an inconspicuous top. And it darkened. I put a little bit more on the underside. And when you get the different grains, it's not dark at all.
No.
So I think I might do that. I'm going to try the golden oak drip with a couple drips of that and some amber shellac.
Sure.
And get some That's the thing, because the maple's very orangey and ambery.
Mhm.
So maybe that with the amber shellac will bring out a little bit closer of a color. I don't think she wants it much, but better than what it is.
Sure.
I agree with. So
And look at all the tables that you start seeing on Instagram, all the steel tables and all that.
yeah.
They're all painted black.
Well, yeah, right, exactly. Yep. But so I avoided the callback
Or shop
of
green.
like, hey, I delivered this, and then they just didn't like it because I definitely subconsciously didn't like it myself. So that's my confirmation.
Yeah.
But,
I have a callback in the shop right now.
yeah, which is perplexing.
Yeah. I will truly never fully understand this. Personally, I think it's just the difference between flat grain red oak and
Yeah,
butcher block edge grain.
yeah, because what they showed you that first round that you did was all plain sawn.
Yeah, it was all plain sawn red oak. Called the cathedrals
Yeah, yeah.
on it. The grain.
Yep.
Yeah,
Those cathedrals
with a lot more
soaked it all
pronounced.
in, and
Yeah.
those were dark. I think that was also throwing off his eye a little bit too, because there
A little
was such
bit.
larger dark areas.
Yeah.
But the overall, it was just dark.
Light direction will do it too.
I mean, he gave a picture of them side by side.
Yeah, no, they're so for those of you listening, the backstory of this, I made a set of butcher block countertops for a kitchen project that has been spaced out over several months. And so I did the island for the butcher blocks first, and that was made out of just flat sawn red oak. Not my choice, but it was exactly what the customer was looking for. Stained it, sent it out, put the stain on the shelf, marked it, and because I knew the rest of the countertops of the kitchen were coming down the pipeline. So several months later, we get to the point where he orders the actual countertops for the rest of the kitchen, but they want it made out of thin strip edge grain butcher block. So we sourced it, produced the countertops, used the same can of stain for everything, and didn't hear back from the contractor that was doing the installation for probably close to 2 months. And I guess it finally got to the point where they were ready to install the countertops. And he took a picture of them next to each other and sent it to me. And they are two noticeably different colors in the pictures.
Next time, stir the stain.
Oh, trust me, it was stirred.
And neither of these were pour filled.
Yeah,
Same,
they weren't.
same can.
Same can.
Same can.
You just
Same
kept the can because
Yeah.
you mixed a couple different stains to get the color you're trying to get to. Because I know you went over there with a bunch of samples, or he came over to look at a bunch of samples or something.
No, that's just one stain.
That's just one stain.
Yep, that's just one stain. You're thinking of the church piece. The church piece had the
okay.
mix.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, it's a noticeably different
Yeah,
finish
Yeah,
on
it's-
it.
it's
Which
nuts. And it's not even like, because with a stain like that, it would get lighter, say, if it was like directly with UV or
Oh
something.
wow.
yeah.
Would the stain get lighter if, say, it was right next to a window getting UV all day?
No. I mean
No.
not
Not
in that period
Yeah,
of time.
I wonder if that was treated.
so far away.
I wonder if the butcher block was treated
What, like
like a
sealed?
like a stabilizer, like
Yeah.
a seal, like a stain stabilizer or anything, or a
Maybe.
glycol stabilizer.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Certainly possible.
Because you
Because
No.
you sanded it to the same grit too.
Mm-hmm.
the plain sliced, you milled all that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was all separate big block,
Mhm.
8-quarter pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, nutty. But yeah, no, that's an annoying one because when it came back, it's like, well, now I have to get the stain off. So it also run for their planer. Oh,
Yep.
look, they're all too wide for the planer. It like compounds the annoyance.
Yeah, it's not just sanding it and refinishing it. There's multiple steps. Hopefully, actually, I'll be putting the new stain on it after we finish recording this tonight.
Yep.
Get them out the door, get them back.
Also annoying that they didn't give you like, there's no other, like, it's not like they had a piece. It's like try to match now.
Yeah, exactly. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Can't win them all.
No. it's an unfortunate reality of things. But like, if you ever want your reputation to remain, you pretty much have to fix it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the thing that blows my mind with these countertops is, I mean, you do everything right. You follow all the steps. You label the fucking can of finish.
Yeah. Yep.
And as the man himself says, I did everything right and I still got indicted. So, I mean, I don't know what else I could have done to make that go any better.
Stop doing business in New York. And it won't happen.
I mean, there you go.
Everyone's stopping business in New York.
I'm not going back. I worked way too many years in New York and hated it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple really nice clients from New York. I got nothing against the state.
Oh, I don't mind them if they take it. I'm not going into the city.
Yeah, I've had a lot of really good clients in like New York City that were fantastic to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So
for me, it's the city. It's the 3-hour commute from Jersey.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
it's the $50 parking.
It was really fun to drive a rickety old box truck delivery van into Brooklyn. That was really fun. I felt like it was going to fall into pieces going on potholes on the bridges.
Sure.
Yeah, that was a ride. And this the steering wheel was so low on this freaking box truck.
Mm-hmm.
I forget where I got it from. It wasn't even like a normal U-Haul.
Yeah.
It was
Trucks R Us.
More or less. I literally tried to find the cheapest truck available.
Sure.
The thing, it was so top heavy, like it was going to tip, just staying in lanes.
Oof.
Absolutely horrible.
When
I delivered that countertop,
yeah.
and the coffee table. So I dropped the countertop off in Brooklyn, and then the coffee table in Manhattan. And that was, even parking that thing and driving around side streets was ridiculous.
You should have just taken Gumby.
I didn't have Gumby yet.
Oh.
Also, Gumby would take me 5 hours to get to New York City, going 50 miles an hour at top speed.
Also, it would only get about halfway there.
And then I would need a tow truck and a box truck to come pick me up.
Exactly.
But callbacks are not fun. Again, luckily I've gotten away with not having the end of the world one where you have to remake something that's thousands of dollars and you just eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
I haven't had that, yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. But I've avoided them before they've gone out, and I've come close. Like even that one table base for the other dining table, that when it was up on the CNC, you're like, that looks thin.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I put the top on and the whole thing racked, I'm like, it's twisting.
Yep.
It's way too thin.
Yes.
And I told the client that. I'm like, hey, I know I was supposed to get this out to you this week. It's going to be next week. I have to remake the entire base.
Yep.
They're like, fine, do what you got to do. Like, they're going to, as long as you're up front, they're like, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you need you to do it right. I was like, I get it.
Yeah. That's the important thing, is just open communication with the customers. I mean, as long as you're talking to them and keep them in the loop.
Yep. I don't know if you can pick all that up in the microphones, but apparently there's like air horns and sirens going off behind us in the town of Hatboro. Huh? I don't know what that is.
That's the fire department.
Well, even if I close the door, we're still going to hear it.
Yeah.
So whatever.
I mean, every time there's a fire call that goes off.
You guys can deal with it. You'll be all right.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
But there was a separate. It's so loud.
It is quite
I'm
loud.
going to pause. We'll be right back. So I guess we're back. You don't notice that because it took 2 seconds, but
that was like 15 minutes of just straight up sirens.
Yeah. That sounded like a 2 or 3 alarm fire, so that's somewhere close-ish because we can still kind of hear them in the background. But anyway,
somebody's having a bad night.
Yeah, it's true. The other topic I had for this week was totally off topic of what we've been doing, but that's kind of par for the course. But it's really one of the exercises I had to do in the beginning of this entrepreneurship course was coming up with the MVP of the product. It's typically product driven is this course where like I have this thing I'm going to make and I prototype it and I just give you like the bare minimum and you give me feedback and then I improve on it and you go through that cycle a bunch of times. This is a little different, this Makerspace, just because space is the thing I can't really grow into for the most part. But everything else, operations wise, the cost of running it day to day, all that kind of stuff can be built upon, but you have to come up with what is the least that you can do to like open the doors. So it was interesting because the project was come up with your MVP and then have 3 potential customers of yours read it and give you feedback on it. And I got 3 completely different sets of feedback on just 2 paragraphs.
Really?
Yep.
What was so different about them?
So in a nutshell, the MVP was having a fully outfitted working like woodworking shop with the machines we have.
Sure.
With a reception area and a place for people to like wait around for classes, talk to receptionists or do whatever, sign up for classes, talk about their membership, but just have like a decent looking reception area. You walk in, have a shop, and then have a separate classroom. It's
Sure.
like, that was really it. One of the initial feedback items I got from someone was just, it is a woodworking shop, and I don't expect there to be any kind of reception area at all.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like, I expect to just walk into a shop.
Nah, you can't have that.
Right. And so I was like, I took it. I was like, okay, that's totally fine. He's more of like a minimalist kind of person in general.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, a differentiator for this makerspace is the entire vibe of the place.
Yes.
Making people want to come back and making having that like +1, as the one guy said at the expo the other day, taking what you're going to have and then just +1ing it.
Sure.
It's like the Disney mentality is like, what do we have? We need to make it a little better. Every single idea here has to be a little bit better.
Yeah, just double it and give it to the next person.
Pretty much. Take your $5 and double it.
Yeah, exactly.
So to me, the whole vibe is what is going to draw people that are just not of one demographic, like a lot of the other woodworking places are.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you kind of need to work into it is not just having one demographic, because that's not a community isn't just one demographic.
No, not at all.
And that's kind of the, as you say, the vibe that you're going for.
Yep. So to me, having a reception area, just because it's the face of what you're seeing when you walk in, I think, I don't know where I heard this or whatever, is probably a while ago, but it was where if you abandon a brand, no matter what brand that is, no matter what facet of your life it revolves around, but any brand abandonment lasts 2 years. So if somebody walks in and like if you go to if you went to like a restaurant that just opened up and either there's nobody behind the counter, or you walk in and there's like a mop like on the floor, like right next to you when you walk in, like crap like that, you're like, get this immediate like turn off to the place.
Okay.
Just like, like first impression type of thing. You're like,
Sure.
Whatever. Like you could probably overlook it if the food's really good, something like that. But like overall, your first impression, a lot of people will get completely turned off to that and abandon the brand entirely.
Okay.
So I feel like walking in and having a good feeling when you walk in the door that this is kind of a fun place to come to often, it would be really important.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's what's going to keep people coming back. And that's what's going to help us bring more people in, is the better of a time they have and the better they feel about being there, the more they're going to come back to it.
Yep.
But also the more they're going to go to work the next day.
Absolutely.
And be like,
tell everyone,
hey, so-and-so that I work with.
Yeah.
I just did this cool thing last night.
Yep.
And you should do it too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the typical Monday morning conversation when you first see your coworkers, like, anyone do anything interesting over the weekend?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I took this cool like woodworking course and we built a coffee table and whatever. The place is really cool. You should check it out. It's local, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's the word of mouth is so huge for something like this.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. Like, for all the, I'll be honest, we'll just say it, all the boring shit that people do on the weekends, like cleaning out their fridge.
Oh,
yeah, who does that?
What a time! What a time
for real.
My
but yeah, I mean, every Monday, me and the people that like I manage in the department, We just take 5-10 minutes and we just kind of go over what happened on the weekend.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And yeah, no, I definitely don't include all the boring shit that I do.
No, definitely not.
But I tell them the cool stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, stuff like this weekend, it's like, well, the boring stuff, I spent all day, boring for other people to hear. Like, I spent all day Saturday at a ball field.
And we're going to make you listen to it.
Exactly. And you love it.
You love it.
But like, it's like, yeah, and Sunday I installed like a pantry of cabinetry and shelves and stuff. They're like, oh, that's cool. You have pictures, and that would totally carry if you're taking some, especially if you're not someone that does that.
Absolutely.
That's something very unique.
For sure.
I mean, hell, if people are going to drink wine and do all the same painting, then I think they'll want to do this more. Just my own opinion.
Let's hope so.
I hope so.
I mean, I think if we can get the right classes and, as you say, if we can get the vibe correct, I think we can definitely make this a fun place for a lot of non-woodworkers.
Absolutely. Yeah, right. Exactly. Like I have in my head, I worked at co-op. My company was in a co-op down in Philly, on Walnut Street.
What, just for all the people listening, not me, that don't know what that means, what is a co-op?
It was like a co-working space. So it's essentially an open area that you just signed your company up to work there, and you have various levels of pricing. If you just want the lowest price, it's just an open area with a kitchen, with coffee, with printers, with internet, and desks and random rooms, and you can just set up shop and work.
Interesting.
So it was literally just co-working. So my company at that time had 6 employees.
Sure.
So we just mingled wherever, and we sat down wherever there was a seat, and we just had our meetings. We programmed our code. We did whatever we needed to do.
Huh.
But then if you wanted to pay a little bit more, you can have a dedicated room for your company, but all the amenities were still shared. It was still a shared kitchen, a shared coffee area, shared bathroom, shared lounge.
Okay.
All that kind of stuff. But a place like that, everyone built the kitchen like out of recycled materials that we found. So
that's fun.
Like if there was someone that posted on Craigslist that they were getting rid of a kitchen of cabinets, someone went and got them.
Sure.
And then put them in the kitchen. Stuff like that. It was really cool. But that place was a whole vibe, because their vibe was using recycled materials and making it look that way.
Okay.
And so everyone kind of brought in stuff that they thought would enhance the decor or make it feel kind of cool.
Gotcha. All right.
More or less like a giant college dorm.
Mm-hmm.
And not that I'm saying that the Makerspace is going to be a college dorm, but having a vibe where like people could just walk in and hang out if they wanted to.
Yeah.
If they finished their project, they just did a glow up, they wouldn't feel the need to just leave.
Sure.
Like, we can hang out, we can grab some coffee, grab a beer from the fridge, just hang out, sit on the couch, talk to other people.
That's kind of the vibe we have here.
Exactly.
And that's why it works so well.
Exactly.
Then I spend an hour and a half cleaning up the dust that you guys leave during the week.
We know how much you like it. We know how much you love sweeping, and how you have bragged about your sweeping, prowess.
Oh, we're gonna have courses on broom usage.
Broom use. One of the other points
Jake might have to take a refresher course.
Oh boy. Lame.
For sure.
One of the other points of feedback that I got was a guy who has a home shop. It's a basement shop. He doesn't have a ton of space. He doesn't have a ton of tools. He definitely doesn't have any industrial tools. His point of feedback was having the tools that you have in the shop would probably be fine, but I would expect to have larger access to tools, access to larger tools, like a belt, like a big belt sander, or
a 20-inch planer,
right?
A 12-inch joiner.
Exactly. Like so I put in there, outfitting a basic shop. It's like, my feedback would be, I would only go there if I could use stuff that I don't have at home.
Exactly.
So if I have the basics at home, then there's really no point for me to show.
Sure.
Totally valid, because honestly, the goal is to have industrial level machines.
But on the other part of that is people are coming to learn.
Right.
I mean,
that's where I think.
Not to mention names, but
yeah,
Jake knows.
I mean,
when we started with doing restoration, one of the people we were teaching and doing restoration, because they were just like doweling and gluing and all sorts of stuff with no taking into no account with wood movement and all of that. So there's a lot that you have to learn. That they might have a wood shop and they might tinker, but they don't know how to make a breadboard end. They don't know how to make a sliding dovetail, or, hey, oak expands this much per foot.
Right. But I mean, I feel like that's also going to be a little bit of a breakdown. At least that's where I'm taking it right now. The classrooms are not going to be the machines in the classrooms are not going to be running 24 hours a day. Like even the stuff in the member shop, I want it to be industrial level, so we don't have to have maintenance on it every day and every week and whatever. I feel like the machines in the classrooms for an MVP to open the doors don't have to be industrial level.
No, we still need the saw stop for the classes and for the general public.
Right.
So, unpopular opinion, most industrial machinery actually requires more maintenance.
Really?
Yep.
How so?
Industrial applications.
Every 100 hours, you're supposed to change the oil in the planer.
And he has all the schedules memorized.
Apparently.
But
like if you had a DeWalt lunchbox planer.
Exactly. There is no maintenance schedule for those.
They're sealed bearings. You just replace the bearings when they go.
Or you replace the planer.
Yeah.
Well, right. And you're replacing blades.
Exactly. So most industrial equipment has a predetermined maintenance schedule.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's part of owning and operating that machinery. If you have a shop like the member shop for what you're proposing, that's going to be somebody's pretty much entire job.
Yes.
Is just maintenance on machines.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, could we do an hour counter? How hard is it to?
I don't know if they
because you have 30 people coming into a shop running this, running that, running this.
I guess there's got to be something that goes in between the power that like just starts counting as soon as it has power and it's turned on, but I don't know.
So
I don't know how you retrofit those.
As far as preventative maintenance on machinery goes, it's usually just done. You spend your first month and a half, 2 months, just kind of watching the machines, how much they get ran, and then you extrapolate that over a calendar month or a calendar year.
Yeah.
And then you just divide it up, and then that becomes your schedule. So if it looks like within your first 3 months of business, you would need to oil bearings or whatever every 3 months.
Yeah.
Then for the first 2 years of your business, every 3 months, quarterly essentially, you'll go around and oil your bearings.
Sure.
And then once about 2 years in, your business has changed. It's either picked up or dropped off enough, and then you reassess. So I mean, every year or two, you kind of retrack those numbers.
Yeah, exactly. And then more often than that, you're just checking all the other stuff.
Exactly. And if you don't want to go through the actual like observation of it, you can just look at your membership sign-ins. So like when we started up, we had on average 5 members a day.
Yeah.
Each person was there for 3 hours. And then 2 years later, you're at 32 members signing in every day, and they're all there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then you just extrapolate based on those percentages.
Yeah. And at that point, you can just assume the usage went up linearly with the amount of people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. For the most part, projects don't change.
No.
The amount of time it takes to plane boards doesn't change.
Yep.
You're going to see a lot of chessboards, a lot of cutting boards, a lot of jewelry boxes. You're not going to have somebody coming in planing 1,000 linear feet.
I'm making all my own boxes for kitchen cabinets.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. It's pretty rare.
Yes.
It does happen from time to time. Absolutely. But pretty rare.
Yep.
And that would be an outlier that
exactly.
it just happens.
Yeah. And that's not gonna move the needle on the schedule really. Because it's gonna happen so rarely that whatever.
Exactly.
Yep. But no, I was thinking not so. I guess that's a different argument than the maintenance versus I just don't want all the like auxiliary things and all the other plastic pieces of non-industrial machinery to start breaking. Where that kind of crap that is made with like non-industrial stuff just breaks all the time. the button doesn't work, the power switch goes, like
Sure.
that kind of crap. The Chinese motors that they're sold with, all that kind of crap. But yeah, I mean, for MVP wise, just like opening the doors, that's really what I was laying out. Having a member shop that has what we have in here, having a classroom that has enough to run the classes that we are offering, and a decent reception area for people to walk in and feel happy to be going in there.
Mm-hmm.
With HVAC.
Sure.
Definitely HVAC because it's hot as hell in here.
Got to do it.
Yeah. We might have to start recording this like somewhere else. We might have to like go to my house.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
You have kids.
Yeah, but they're asleep.
They're asleep 2 hours ago, dude.
I get them to bed. We only have a certain amount of sanity per day.
So you come here and leave your wife there, and they.
So it's weird. So when I was growing up, my dad's favorite word was bed, but then again, he also had 9 kids, so I don't know what he meant now.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Right. Things to consider.
But when like 7:30 came around, he asked my dad a question. They're like, "Oh yeah, bed."
Mm-hmm.
He would just answer you bed because he wanted all the kids to go away because there were way too many of us.
Sure.
Not really speaking of that, but I have a new niece today, so that's cool.
Oh yeah.
Bed.
What a curveball, dude! Jesus Christ! I did not know where he was going with that sentence.
Speaking of bed.
Okay.
Good job, Dylan.
Dylan, mazel tov, bud.
My man. His second kid, my sister. There you go.
Way to go, Dylan.
Yeah, my man. He's cool.
Also,
He's cool.
Dan's sister, good for you too.
Yeah. Katie and Dylan, good job. Yeah, I don't know. Have anything else on an MVP? Anything else that you would think we would absolutely 100% require to open the doors to the public outside of like the givens, like your website works and you have like.
Are you talking like
register.
Specific tools or?
Like, what would you think we would be 100% required to open? Like, we can't open unless we have this. Like, no one's going to come unless we have this.
Proper functioning dust collection and air filtration.
100%.
AC.
Absolutely 100%. HVAC.
Nah.
Depends on the time of year we open.
Exactly.
If we open in like December, we'd be good for a good like 4 or 5 months before we actually record.
You want to open in September.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be this year in September.
No, it's September because the kids are going to school.
Yeah.
So you'll have your after school kids programs.
Yep.
Also, you'll have a good 4 to 5 months of people looking for a wood shop to make Christmas presents in.
Absolutely.
That's the busiest time of the year for a shop like that.
You could do a lot of layup intro first person courses for that.
Cutting boards, jewelry boxes, serving trays.
Trees.
Yeah, well, wooden cutout.
Bandsaw 3D Christmas trees with half laps.
Love it. Exactly.
Done it.
Mike will love that.
Yeah.
I make all
Mike,
my
you're in charge of the kids' classes.
I could do that.
I'm sure you can. Kid.
Yeah.
Use the scraper. All the kids are going to be using scrapers.
That would be hilarious.
Be awesome. Mike's sharpening course. All right, kids, no one's allowed to use a scraper unless you can sharpen it yourself.
Worked for Jake. It worked for Jake.
It did. That's how I learned.
He was put on as like, yeah, you're going to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's how I learned all of it.
Absolutely. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mike, do you have a job?
Yes.
I can't wait to see a room of like 10 9-year-olds and then Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Why does that baffle you?
I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
I actually do it already. I teach.
I know. I just can't see it. I'm curious. I'm curious if you're gonna. Man, I just don't know what the interaction looks like. I've never seen you around kids.
Pretty good with kids.
I'm sure it is. I've just never seen it, and it's hard to picture it. I just imagine him saying, "All right, kids, do this," and they do it like, "No, you fucking do it wrong."
No, that's what I tell you.
I can take it. You can say that to me all day.
What?
Yeah.
Did I not stay here till like 1 o'clock at night to make sure you didn't take your hand off with the shaper?
I wasn't going near that shit. I was not going near that. I heard a bunch of pine crackling, and you just kind of froze. You're like, all right, that's going to shoot. I'm going to back away. You just knew exactly when it was going to happen. I'm like, no. He starts doing this, and dude, he's got a look on his face. Because the first 3 times I tried, it shot back. Yeah. And I was going in the right direction. I was going with the grain and everything. I was so passive that I was like babying it in there too much. And I don't like shapers at all.
See?
Not my cup of tea.
That's what happens when you do everything right and you start getting tired.
Dude.
It happens.
I'm glad so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do about 3 classes a year for the engineering department for the school.
Nice.
I teach them basic woodworking, basic tool use. Then we do end of the year, we do automotive.
Nice.
We'll teach the kids automotive. This is how you change your oil. This is how you plug a tire. This is how you change a tire.
They should do that in high school.
Really
changing oil, man. Valuable life lessons.
It got me because they gave us one of the vans. They don't put spares in vans no more.
I don't have a spare tire in my car. Most cars don't have them.
It comes with a fix-a-flat.
Most
cars now come with a fix-a-flat cam. That's
Especially if it's a hybrid or electric. There's no room because of the batteries, so they don't even give you a tire. They give you the tar with the needle and fix it and get to a gas station.
Are you serious?
There's no spare tire. They don't give you the jack. They don't give you
nothing.
I mean, that was like,
yeah.
That's wild.
It's been like that for a while, since hybrids came out. I had a hybrid car in 2013 and it didn't have a spare tire.
That's crazy. In 2013, I had a 98 Corolla.
I had a Ford Fusion the first year they made them hybrids.
Okay.
And then it didn't start 3 times because software.
I had the same Ford Ranger.
Freaking ridiculous. Yeah, no.
Same Ford Ranger.
Yeah, no, I've had friends of mine who are my exact same age call me on the side of the road to come change their tires.
That's crazy.
Yes, full grown men. I was like, "You really don't know how to do this?" And he goes, "Dude, you got to come over." I was like,
"Oh, the best part?
All right, I'm teaching you while we're doing this because this. So we have this, dude.
Considering where I work and the tax bracket that they're in.
Yeah.
We also have to teach them, because if you didn't know, the high-end European cars, the lug nuts are reverse thread on all the passenger side.
All of them?
Or sorry, on the driver's side. Not all of them, but enough of them. So because of the way that the wheel turns, it tightens the lug nuts when it's reversed. Right.
Yeah. Except for stuff.
But the first time I ever had to deal with that was the K truck that we had. Well, it's a bigger version of a K truck.
So Gumby's like that.
Gumby's reverse too?
Half of the lugs are, half of them are not.
Really?
There's a little indication on the lug nut itself. And that's apparently the most common thing of people stripping them out and cross-threading them and shit because they have no idea. So they put the air gun for reverse and they're literally tightening it down to hell and they break them off. That was the thing that Dustin was telling me. He was like, yeah, change that out to put it.
I've actually never heard of somebody's lug nuts backing out just from riding like that.
Yeah, that's not safe. That's insane.
But I mean, that's how they engineer.
I wish they had those courses now. That'd be awesome. I guess that's why you do scouts and shit to actually learn some stuff. Actual life skills. When I was down in the islands, my best friend down there and he was a sports director, but we were going to do summer courses for the kids, which was we were going to call it Life 101. Absolutely.
This is how you get a broken light bulb out of the socket. Yep. This is how you switch out an outlet or a. That was a request for classes. So what my friend said, it would be great if we could have a course specifically, but now. She's a female and asks for female specific courses
But she said literally because there are jobs that a lot of husbands do that they're not doing them, and I just want them done. And I need to know how to do them.
Like even,
all right, fine.
this is how you patch sheetrock.
Yeah, simple stuff.
And nobody knows it. It's weird that we've compartmentalized everything. They might, a person might be really, really good at their one little world of what they do for a living, but they can't step out of that box.
That would be really funny in the makerspace having a course like that. It would feel like Ask This Old House. You just have like this false wall with a hole in it, the wall that we roll in.
Oh, I do it.
Here you go.
It was
fun.
I was fully planning on doing like with the fake wall, how to do sheetrock, how to do plugs, how to do lights, how to
wire a simple 110 outlet.
Yeah,
simple. But what I've seen. But what I've seen.
Every now and then on the local Facebook pages and stuff, I'll see people posting asking for like firsthand testimonials and opinions.
Oh yeah.
From people who live in my apartment complex.
Oh my God.
I'm like, hey, should I live here? And
that was one last week.
Yeah. So whenever I see them asking about my complex, I always just repost the video in the comments section of after we got our bathroom redone when they replaced the
Oh my God. Dude, we laughed at that for hours.
Absolutely amazing.
So again, eventually we'll figure out how to show you guys these videos and pictures and stuff that we're talking about on the podcast. But a while ago, I got my bathroom remodeled in our apartment. And when they rewired in the outlet, they botched the wiring somehow, I believe it was in series or parallel, one of those two, when it shouldn't have been.
The lights back in the 60s, they would feed them through the light. The switch was an interrupting switch, not a connecting switch.
Weird.
This was all brand new wiring.
Yeah, but your power is still coming through the wire to the light and then to the switch. Whereas nowadays...
No, they ripped everything out.
They ripped out everything?
Everything.
No, this was a guy that didn't know what he was doing. So you would flip the switch, and what would happen?
So I would plug in my beard trimmer and in the outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would plug it into the outlet and you could turn the light switch on. The lights would come on. If you plugged the beard trimmer in, you turn the light switch on and nothing would happen. And then when you turn the beard trimmer on, the
lights would turn on.
The lights would turn on. And lights would turn back off when you turn the trimmer off.
You turned your beard trimmer into a second switch.
Yep.
They did a three-way
when you turned it on, the lights went out?
No, when you turned it on, the lights went on.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
I let when he's like, dude, you're gonna watch this.
Yeah. So now
so much watching that.
Whenever anybody asks whether or not
here's how they fix things there.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, they have had 2 or 3 building fires since I've been there.
Wow.
Yeah. And they've all been ruled electrical.
Of course.
So the one where the woman has the 2 wires for the next outlet stuck into the previous outlet, and the guy walks in and says, "Who did your electrical?" And then she goes, "Oh, it's my nephew Jimmy." And the guy goes, "Well, when does his house burn down?" She's like, "How did you know his house burnt down?"
Take the end of your beard trimmer, just cut the plug off, and just put the plug to the switch. Nice.
Making sandwiches at night, man.
Oh, we're at a minute 4. Or we've got an hour 4. So we wrap it up. Anything else? Any other thoughts, Michael?
No,
not you.
No.
Nope.
Giant. No.
Hamster fell off the wheel.
There it is.
I got nothing left.
Actually, chiropractors are great.
Well, okay. Yeah, that's good.
That's a good thought.
Chiropractors. He's good thoughts.
Good thought to have. Mike is mobile.
Up again.
Yep.
It doesn't look like he just got done riding a horse for 3 days. Well, if you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/MontgoMakers. We do have our first Patreon, Keith from Blackthorn Concepts. You're the man. We're going to repost your podcast Making Hands podcast, Working Hands podcast. Whenever,
soap company.
You and the soap, man. But you're awesome. We thank everyone who supports the show, reposts, stories on Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Just share it, tell your friends.
For everybody listening at home, I heard from Keith recently. He said he's awfully lonely in the patrons.
He is.
He's the only one.
He is.
We can't leave him alone in there. He needs
a friend.
We need a couple more friends for Keith on the patrons list.
Yep. You're going to want to get some special stuff. I'm adding some stuff this week to the Patreon list. Some different tiers, some different stuff. We're getting some merch stuff because we have our logo done. The Monco Makers logo is all finished. You go to monco-makers.com.
What is Monco?
Montgomery County. You should know this.
I live here.
Oh, man.
Mike, you drive past the sign every time you come here.
You go down county line.
You make the assumption I can read.
I've seen you look at a phone with bifocals on. I know you can't read. But no.
Anyway,
find me at Instagram at Woshot Woodworking, at JRosser Design over there, and at Monco Makers. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Later.
See you.